Good evening, lovely tubers. My name is the White Mexican, and welcome to Market Watch Investments. I have a plethora of cards that I'll be showcasing for you guys tonight, and I do hope that you will enjoy. So today, getting things kickstarted is going to be Structure Deck Legend of the Crystal Beast. This is the next TCG structure deck that is going to be dawning here for us, and this actually looks pretty cool. Now, me personally, I'm not a big fan. I've never played. I don't really know much of anything about Crystal Beast myself, but the artwork is really, really cool. The mechanics behind it is a little silly, but, you know, there is a relatively medium, perhaps, fanboy basis behind the deck. There's definitely some players that it's pretty good for collectability and some kind of old school, I think this is maybe like a GX format deck if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, the art box looks really, really cool, and I think even though this may not be the most competitive structure deck to pick up when it's dawned, I think it's going to be an amazing investment value, specifically for collector's value, for sealed, for bulk, for first edition structure decks exclusively. And this is the official Konami site, and we have a little bit of a breakdown here, but there's not really too much information. I've heard rumors that Ghost Belle is supposed to be reprinted in this. Hopefully she doesn't totally get the shaft and it's a common. Hopefully we get kind of like how they did with Cyber Strike, how they made Impern a super rare, and if it happens to be true and we do get Ghost Belle, and it happens to be a holo foil super rare, that would just be really, really cool. So who knows about that? We'll see. And here on eBay, it looks like I can only find one listing personally myself. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if you guys have tried to look on this. eBay is kind of the go-to platform for me personally for picking up bulk prices for preloads, for pre-sales, for sealed product. But right now, this is just this ridiculous, overly priced, and it's not even bulk prices. It's just $3. I personally, every once in a while, use blowout cards. That's kind of one of my alternative platforms for picking up bulk prices. If I can't find something at an affordable price point on the eBay platform, I'll switch over to here, and they have kind of deals and like promotional codes that you can knock off some bit of the price here. So these are the prices here for a case and for a box here. So I actually cracked down the math for a box, and it basically comes down to under MSRP, so under 10 bones a piece for each structure deck, but you have to keep in mind that there is taxes. They offer free shipping for a certain amount of order or something like that, but there is taxes are quite hefty depending on your state and all that, so be aware of that. Cool. Moving on is going to be limit removal. So this card is really, really cool. This is the Hobby League 6 version as Parallel Ultra Rare. Really, really aesthetically pleasing, really old school, really awesome. And machines kind of come and go. There's a lot of support for machines, and I feel like there's a lot of fanboy bases behind machines. I mean, you have Cyber Dragons, and you have ABCs, and that's just to name a few of some of the Machina. And there's new like the Infinite Tracks and Machina blends and all that. There's just a lot that goes into machines, and they have quite a bit of support, and they're always going to be one of those deck types that spark a lot of really good support. So, and this is a one pop kill, and it's a quick play, and I think, you know, if you play it right, I mean, it's pretty much solely made for like a one-shot blast and to take your opponent out in one turn, and it's very good at doing just that. Starting market price for this for lightly played is going to be around about 11 bones, and then near mints are going to be about 17, which is pretty incredible. If we switch over to bulk prices, starting market price is going to be 17, that trickles all the way up to 23 after that, and here is some Italiano ones if you guys are interested in some Euro prints. There are a couple other variants that are pretty cool. Personally, I really do appreciate the Hobby League 6 the best myself. There's a DT Common, which is pretty cool, and then of course we have the very infamous, legendary, original super rares out of PSV Pharaoh's Servant, very much Generation 1, very, very collectible. If you're going for this one, this would be more for collectability purposes, and surprisingly enough, this is insane that there's first edition copies lately played for about 3 bones. This is just incredible to me. It's very, very affordable, a steal deal. Unfortunately, they're not bulk prices, so you can't pick up multiple copies all in one shot, which is unfortunate. If we do switch over to bulk prices, there is a stack of 4 lightly playeds for about 8. And then it trickles up to about 20 for near mints, but it is a fat stack of 8 too, so completely up to you guys on the limit removal. Next is going to be Secret Village of the Spellcasters. So this is a phenomenal card. Spellcasters, Fiends, Warriors, There's a lot of different deck types that have a lot of different support, and Spellcasters is definitely no stranger to having a plethora of options and choices. There's a lot of things that you can do with Spellcasters, and this card is just awesome. This is the original OG print as a super rare, dawning on the very infamous Seesaw Crossroad of Chaos, a very infamous Black Rose set. Really great set, old set. I believe this was 5D's era, if I'm not mistaken, of Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is going for pretty good money, and rightfully so. I mean, in my personal opinion, being the set that it's from and being the original print, it's a collector's card, and it's the original print, and it's just a blowout card. A very amazing control card. And starting market price for first edition late play is going to be about 15 bones, and then near mints are going to jump up to 20. There's 2 pages of availability for first edition copies, and we're going to switch over to bulk prices, and quickly goes all the way up to 40 bones for a playset of near mint after that. It's very limited on bulk pricings on that. There are other alternatives. There's several super rare variants, like the OTS 8 super rare, OTS Pack 8 super rare, Infinity Chasers super rare, and I think there was something else, and then the rest were common. Now granted, these are your best bet for affordability would be the OTS 8 super rares, just because they're OTS holofoils and they look really nice, and I appreciate personally myself OTS super rares, but it's just not going to have the same effect as, for playability purposes, fine. We can play the common for all I care. It really doesn't matter, but for the kind of the S-Stack and having something nice, it's really going to be hard to separate from the value of the original print. Now, if this gets a secret rare reprint, that would be something to take into consideration. But for right now, I really think the Seesaw variants are really going to be the only ones worth going after. Next is going to be Skill Drain. So we got released the next set, OTS 19, I believe it is, and we're getting Skill Drain as an ultimate rare. I'm so excited about this. White Mexican is a huge anti-meta fanboy, and having Skill Drain at 3 was just completely blowout. Getting it to 3, 2 lists to go, was just awesome. This and Macrocosmos are some of my all-time favorite Floodgate trap cards of all time. Very powerful, very impactful, amazing cards. And this card is really good money. If you guys have the commons, sell them now. Just sell them. Keep 1 copy or 3 copies, whatever you need to play. Personally, I only personally have 2 copies. I have the Dark Revs rare, and I have a Dark Crisis original rare first edition, and these are the ones that I've actually been running in my builds. I only have 2. I have 2 copies. It's kind of insane. I only have 2 copies myself. I invested in a case of Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1, which is over here, which have the DT Ultra Rares, but I'm keeping them sealed. The set is just worth nothing right now. I think it will articulate value like way down the line, like I'm talking like probably 15 years, an insanely extensive long haul investment, but right now there's just really nothing worth anything in this set besides Skill Drain. So personally, I'm keeping my case sealed, but I do have that. Other variants I really think that you should sell. I think that Turbo Pack Booster 8, being that it is Turbo Pack, is pretty nice, but it's sitting at a really fat price point. The DTs are really nice, but again, I would just sell whatever you don't need. Keep 1 to 3 copies, and then just sell the rest, because this is just hot cash right now. Next is going to be Book of Lunar Eclipse. So this is a solo print dawning on a Lightning Overdrive. Obviously, this is a very new card. I have like an obsession, a borderline obsession with Egyptian styled stuff. Anubis is my favorite Egyptian god, and you know, this may or may not be him in one of these. You can't really see. It's not a very close-up picture, but I think this card is really cool. This may be kind of a cheeky card. Maybe a lot of people don't really see the value in this, but I definitely see this holding, not necessarily like money-wise hold like value, but playability value, especially being that it's a solo print. Eventually it's going to get a reprint. Everyone knows that. That's fine, but the highest rarity, and that's as a secret rare, is really cool. And I like this card. It's a quick play, it's a book card, it's a magic card, and it's just, I don't know, it's something about this card I really appreciate. Probably more specifically as of right now, because it's a solo print secret rare, and it's, you know, got the Egyptian fodder artwork and all that. Biggest thing about this is, even for first edition copies, bulk prices, they're 3 bones. There's a stack of 9 here for 3 bones. You know, if you could potentially get free shipping depending on how many you get. And then it's about 3 bones here for this 9 stack, and just continues to trickle up to about 5 bones. And there's 2 pages of availability, 4 bulk prices. So I'm not saying go and like buy like a billion copies of these, but I think having like 3 to 6 to 9 copies is a solid hold, because I think that this is not going to stay at this price point forever. Next is going to be Minerva. So we have a couple different variants of this. The majority of them are prize cards. There's like a super rare and an ultra rare, which were like tournament prize cards or something insane like that. Completely unattainable, extremely expensive. This is an amazing, healthy alternative as a secret rare out of the Gen 1 very first Battles of Legends, which has great history merit. This is the first set that changed up the holo foiling, where the level stars or the rank and the attributes were hollowed out. Really, really nice. Just pops, looks aesthetically great. And this is for what this is, being really the only variant that is attainable, because I don't know if it got reprinted again, but to the best of my knowledge, I believe this is the only reprint compared to the prize card, Super and Ultra. And this is like 10 bones. So this has been slowly increasing, like very, very, very slowly, because Battles of Legends, right, Light's Revenge is a relatively older-ish set now. It's not insanely old, but it's getting older. It's getting up there in age. And, you know, for the longest time, this was like 2, 3, 5, 6, and now it's at 10. But still, I think having a playset of this is not a bad idea. Lightsworn is a fan favorite deck. It's an amazingly splashable, blendable effect. You can mix it in with a lot of really great tier decks. And I may have a little bit of bias because I really do like Lightsworns. And again, I believe this was like another old school, was it like 5Ds? It was whenever Light of Destruction came out, that was their opening set, their premiering set. And this is just a really, really great deck in general, and I love the draw power, and the engine is just really, really fun to play. So okay, so around pretty much 10 bones across the board for first edition copies, regardless of near mint, lightly played. And we'll go ahead and take a look at bulk prices, and then bulk prices quickly increased to about 14. There's a fat stack of 28 here, first edition near mints, and then it kind of just goes off after there. And I think I saw a playset though. So it's interesting. I don't know why it's showing only an option for 4 or more. Sometimes TCGP does these wonky things here. But there is a playset here, near mint first, for 10. So if you guys want to nab that up, I think that's a solid buy. And next is going to be Crystal Wings Synchro Dragon. So this, to me, has always been a really great collector's card. Shining Victories, I believe, was a 2016 set. So getting up there in age, again, not insanely old, but, you know, a couple years behind us now. And this has just unparalleled artwork. It was printed in high rarity, secret rare, of course. And for the longest time, this was like, maybe not the longest time, but for maybe about like a year to maybe 2 years out from this set. This was a really strong meta, desired, very collectible, very wanted, very playable card. And it's just another really awesome, badass synchro card that just looks great. And secret rare synchros, ghost synchros especially, and even ultimate rare synchros sometimes look just so fantastic. I love like the grayish white tint, like phantom behind synchros. And first edition copies of this original print Shining Victories. There's some Italiano ones if you guys are into some Euro prints for about 13. And then 14 is the first near mint first edition. And it kind of trickles up after that. There's 3 pages of availability. Let's go ahead and check lightly playeds. Lightly playeds are going to be about 11 bones, give or take. And then we'll take a look at bulk prices altogether. It looks like there is a single stack of bulk prices, 1 playset for 20 bones for near mint first edition, which is pretty incredible. Alternatively, there is the mirrored secret rares from Battles of Legend, which look like they're going for about 8+, which is quite an uptick. For the longest time, like this card was like nothing. It was like 1, 2, 3 bones, and it pretty much had stayed at that point. After this set, after Light's Revenge, again, another great Light's Revenge card, had been out for quite a bit. There's an OTS Super Rare, which is actually, you know, right behind the Secret Rare. Personally, I would go for the Secret Rare, even though I really do appreciate Super Rares. Secret Rare definitely Realm's king for Crystal Wing. And another thing people aren't really taking a note in, and maybe just because Shadows of Hollow is, you know, a lot newer than Battles of Legends, Light's Revenge, is Ice Bell. So this is the highest rarity that we have, as a secret rare, and this is insanely affordable. I mean, we're looking at first edition, lightly played, near mints, bulk prices, like pretty much a bone across the board, and there is a lot to go around, and goes up to about pretty much 2 bones after that, and there's plenty to go around. So this is something that you need. I mean, as of right now, I don't much know of any other combo or any other play that players are using to whip out Crystal Wing besides the Wind Witch engine. It seems to be the fastest, the most effective, the most consistent, whatever have you. But Ice Bell is key, and I have so many of these, and I think this just looks aesthetically great, especially as a secret rare, and it's very affordable. So if you guys don't have copies, I definitely think that you guys should get at least a playset personally. Denoseka is going to be next. So I personally love Royal Decree. I know Chaney's actually talked about, I think he said that he sides like a trip set of Jinzos, which is a pretty cool tech choice. I never really thought about that before, but me personally, I am a supporter of Royal Decree. I always have a playset of Royal Decree in my side deck. It doesn't matter what deck I'm playing, I always run Royal Decree. This is another really fantastic tech choice though. It's a light level 4. Pretty weak for what it is, only 1700, but could be worse. It's cool that it's a Thunder. Really fantastic artwork. This is the highest rarity as a secret rare. Again, Dawning Out of Battle's Legends, Light's Revenge. And starter market price for this is about 2-ish bones. And this is bulk prices as well. This is bulk prices as well. So, not too bad. Interesting enough, there also is the original Ultra Rares, which, you know, I'm probably going to get strung up for this because I spit hate on Ultra all the time. But I've actually personally have and had the Ultra's original Near Mint first editions, and these actually look really smooth. Her eyes actually look like really like Sithy and dark and evil and sinister in the Ultra Rare print. I'm not really sure why. If you guys take a look at that, if you look at like the secret rare, they kind of like all like purple and nice, and she's like, oh, I'll be your friend. And then like in the original Ultra, she's like, no, I will stab you, I will decapitate you, I will like put my blade in your face. Really phantom, like evil looking eyes. Awesome. And these are just insanely affordable. Like even for near mint first editions, bulk prices, well, I guess bulk prices are apparently cleared off the market, but you can see here, not even a bone, pretty much all across the board. There's a set of 2, I'm sorry. Then it goes to about 3. Incredible. Just an all-around, just really great card, and something to take into consideration. Next is going to be Gozuki. So these are the commons out of Zombie Horde. Now I know Zombie Horde is a relatively expensive structure deck and relatively hard to get, relatively somewhat, you know, old now. Definitely out of print by now. Zombie stuff is going up, and Gozuki is no stranger to that. I think, you know, if you have the commons, this is a good time to push this off, just because there's dual saga variants, which are amazing and superior in every way, and the dual saga variants are the ones I personally run in my zombies build. I'm a huge zombies fan, and these are pretty much 5 bones all across the board. So even if we take a look at bulk prices, it goes up to about almost a Phantom under 8 and then 8+. So this is a fantastic sell. If you guys have this, obviously if you're a zombie player and you like to run this as part of your engine, you know, keep 1, 2, 3, how many you need. But if you have spares, push these off now. These are just commons, and I think it's an insane card to sell right now. Crow is going to be next. So I personally, I have always really loved this card. It rotates in like the bigger meta, in the bigger picture, it rotates through and cycles through, but I've always really loved Crow as a side deck card, as, you know, a hand trap itself. My personal favorite variant prints are the Ultimate Rares, no surprise. We also have the Starlight Rares, which are pretty cool too, but they're nowhere close to how much I appreciate the original Ultimate Rares, but they're both very pricey. Now, as far as playability purposes, these super rare variants are my fan favorite. You know, call me sick, call me twisted, maybe I just have a strange obsession with hand traps and super rares, and I do. I love my super rares. My hand traps in super rares, and Legendary Collection 2 was the very first print of super rare variants of Crow that we got, and then Raw Yellow Mega Pack, which came a little bit after the set, dawned a mirrored super rare, which is really cool too, if you get the first edition print. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at these. They're pretty much about 7 bones all across the market. And let's go ahead and take a look at bulk prices. There's all one stack here, one play set for about 7 plus the shipping. Now, keep in mind, again, there is those mirrored supers from Raw Yellow Mega Pack, which are right here, which you can either or. They're both the same thing. They look the same. They're absolutely the same thing. It's just that the Legendary Collections 2 is a little bit older, so in my personal opinion, it's a little bit harder to get, a little bit more collectible, and just, you know, a little bit more fun in general. So that's what I personally like, but either or will do finely. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was going to be both Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. So, everyone knows this comes in and out of the meta. This is a fantastic hand trap. It's, you know, cutesy anime waifu text, girl/card. Great effect, great artwork, great name, all that awesome stuff. Highly collectible. And we have the ultimate rare. Everyone knows about the ultimate rare, how collectible it is, how expensive it is, and everyone knows about the Cross Soul secret rare, first editions exclusively. And I personally own several of the first edition secret Cross Souls original OG prints, and they're amazing for collectability purposes. One thing I think that people don't pay attention to is the 2016 Megaton reprint super rares. Again, this may be me just having a strange fascination with hand traps and super rare, but I think this card looks really, really good, and it's amazing for playability purposes. It's just a super rare. If it gets lightly played, it's not a big deal. It's a reprint, so it's super rare, but it's still very much a hollow foil. It's still very much an awesome alternative to the higher rarities for playability purposes, and this is just, I think that I wanted to just show some love on this particular variant. So looking at near mint lightly played, bulk prices, it's pretty much 3 bones plus shipping, depending on how you break it down. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to give a little bit of love specifically to Ghost Ogre. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you've enjoyed this content, please share it with someone that you also believe will enjoy it. The world is a dark place and life is difficult. Be aware that you never know what others are enduring. Please remember to be a friend, be a brother, be a sister. Love and encourage those that surround you always. I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh! Investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.